So Jamaica Plain Boston, Adam, tell us all about it.
Well, Jamaica Plain is a wonderful community. I kind of describe it like if you're thinking of New York, there's different boroughs. There's Brooklyn and Queens. Jamaica Plain is sort of like a borough of Boston. It's not considered downtown Boston proper like Back Bay or the South End. It's further out, not by much, but a little bit further out. And it's one of these communities that about 15, 20 years ago began to get gentrified and develop and has really changed in the last 2 decades. I know that firsthand. I happen to live in Jamaica Plain myself. I've lived there almost 20 years, so I've seen it with my own eyes. Jamaica Plain, back in the day, used to be a very popular vacation spot for Boston's elites.
Really?
Those who lived in the Back Bay or in Beacon Hill would summer in Jamaica Plain because of Jamaica Pond. Today, Jamaica Pond is it's a beautiful pond. You can't swim there, but you can canoe and take sailboats out on the pond. Very popular for taking the dog out for a walk around the pond or a run. It's about 1.3 miles, so it's a great spot to go. The Arnold Arboretum, which is a beautiful arboretum. It's owned by Harvard University, and it's several acres. I would think it's at least 50 or 60 acres of flowers and trees, and it's just beautiful. And then you also have Franklin Park, and those 3 outdoor spaces comprise of what's called the Emerald Necklace. Franklin Park is made up of the Franklin Park Zoo. There's walking trails through the woods. There's open fields for football and other sporting events, as well as social gatherings, musical events, that type of thing. So the Emerald Necklace is made up of those 3 things. You also have the original home of Sam Adams Beer in Jamaica.
Oh, wow.
The Plain was, again, way back in the day, in the early 1900s, Jamaica Plain had several different breweries located in it. Sam Adams, when they first started back in I think it was the 1990s, the owner of Sam Adams found a small space in what used to be one of these larger breweries. He's a beer historian, and he wanted to brew his beer in the same space that all these older breweries had. And so today, of course, Sam Adams is a very well-known national and international beer.
Yeah.
And their headquarters, their original location, as well today as they have tours and working brewery is still in Jamaica Plain. So that's another really cool thing. Jamaica Plain is made up of a ton of different groups of people, demographics, ages. It's one of these sort of community melting pots that all kinds of different people love to come to, because of its close proximity to downtown Boston, but also because of its proximity, like I said, to other things like the pond and to the Arboretum and to, getting further outside of the city. You have young professionals, you have baby boomers who are right-sizing out of the suburbs but want to be closer to the city. Jamaica Plain has 4 T-stops or train stops on the Orange Line, so it's a very easy opportunity to hop on the train and get into downtown Boston. And depending on where you're going in downtown Boston, it takes maybe 15 minutes door to door, so very quick to get down there. Great types of restaurants, shops, bars. So it really has come quite a long ways. It's a very progressive community. We don't see a lot of chains. You're not going to find a McDonald's, a lot of typical types of chains in Jamaica Plain. We had a Whole Foods come in about 7 or 8 years ago, and there was a huge to-do about that.
Really? Wait, why? What's...
Well, I think a lot of people in JP, they don't like to have big corporate names and chains, and they like to keep it local. And even the Whole Foods that is here, it's a very small Whole Foods. I know that they give not a lot, but they give some proceeds back to the local community. So, and our newest addition, which literally just opened up a few weeks ago, is Massachusetts has legalized marijuana for recreational use.
Oh, I saw that.
And and so we just, JP just opened up their first marijuana dispensary, but what makes it unique is it's owned, I think, by like 85% minority women. In addition to the dispensary, they've opened up a museum right in the space that highlights people's legal problems with marijuana over the years. And of course, unfortunately, that has skewed heavily towards the African American community. And people have been jailed and locked up for decades over marijuana, which is pretty ridiculous when you think about it. Yeah. But it's the first dispensary in the country that has something like that has a museum that also allocates social justice issues and all that in the history of marijuana. So that's pretty cool. And that just opened up recently. So really a great community. You know, regardless of your age, ethnicity, there's always things to do, places to go, things to see, try. It's just a really great community. It's one of the communities from a real estate perspective that just really skyrocketed in prices and continues to do so. I mean, there are other areas of, Boston in general, the numbers are high, but some communities have sort of leveled off a bit. You don't typically see that yet in Jamaica Plain.
So still coming up. Why do they call it Jamaica Plain?
Great question about the origins of Jamaica Plain. The short answer is there's no clear answer as to where the name comes from. We're including a link to an article that talks about the three most popular theories. Of the three, the one I like the most is the one that states that, the people who settled in the area were hard drinkers and they liked rum, and so as they were settling here, they liked rum, and rum at the time was coming from Jamaica. And that's how Jamaica Plain came to be. Plain is spelled Plain. No true, real, hardcore answer to that question. I like that option though, the fact that, the original settlers of Jamaica Plain were hard rum drinkers.
Yes.
And they knew it before the rest of us, and that's where the name came from.
Okay, I'll take it. I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for all the clearing up Jamaica Plain.
Hey, I do what I can for you.
Go on. Until next time.
All right. Take care. Hey guys, if you're liking this content and are eager to hear more, I would encourage you to keep on watching. Click on the button to subscribe, and you will be the first to get new, fresh content as soon as I put it on the internet.